Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities, destroying the life of innocent people. Campaign of harassment sanctioned by the authorities, destroying the life of innocent people. Thank you. Is about hundreds of people in this country and other countries and the United States and many other countries being subjected to a 24/7 campaign of harassment. We are talking innocent people who never hurt anyone in their entire life, people who never been indicted or convicted of any crime. It's basically an authoritarian project. But people have anecdotal evidence, they speak to other people, they know something is going on, they prefer to look the other way, they prefer to think that we are antisocial element, it's part of the, all the false narrative going on in society, and it is completely destroying life, because when they start on you, you can forget about having a normal life, and basically it's an authoritarian project, it's an authoritarian program, because with the banking elite and the establishment that they find their power, they control society, increasing challenge, they in the future they can very well use this kind of program of harassment in the future to target political activists, to target whistleblowers. Now they're trying this out on a small number of people, innocent people.
Yeah, I'll be a victim of this.
Sorry?
I'm a victim of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know about...
I've had police officers try and get in relationships with me and all sorts from activism.
Sorry?
I've had police officers try and get in relationships with me.
Okay. Yeah.
I know they've basically shrugged their shoulders at me. I know what they're doing.
It happened to me too, actually. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's like this cognitive schizophrenia we have in society, whereby one moment they see that something is going on, the next moment they pretend nothing is going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they want to look at they look the other way.
They get parties to go and steal stuff and things like that.
Yeah.
And then encourage you to do the same.
It's called organized stalking, and then organized stalking or gang stalking we call it. If you go to Google expression like organized stalking, they also target individuals. You will find literally, check it out, 1,000 of websites, activism sites, blogs, all made by the victims. But the interesting thing is that at the moment we try to keep in touch with each other through the internet, in person, having meetings. At the moment we see that there are hundreds of people coming forward every day and saying this happened to me too. It is happening to me too. And we talk to people in Australia, New Zealand, in the United States, in other European countries. You check it out, you get contacted by people from Australia, from New Zealand, and say, this is happening to me, I know what you're talking about. And we're talking in the hundreds coming forward every day. So we know about all the crime of these people, and the information is out there, nothing has been done. So there's no magic bullet. Unless there is some occurring some big change in society, it is not going to end in my lifetime. It is going to go on and on and on, like all the stuff they're doing, squandering trillion and billion on defense, bombing innocent people. Everyone knows it's going on. It will keep going on unless there is some real, genuine change in society, some awakening. Otherwise, it will keep going on and on and on. The evidence is out there, plenty of evidence, like there is plenty of evidence, other crime being committed, war, genocide, war crime, but it's not going to stop.
It appears there are no limits to atrocities ordinary people are willing to commit aid and abet because someone in official authority has told them to do just that.
Yeah.
I go to any of them, but they've got to be following orders. They get paid for it, so it justifies it, because they're being paid for it.
I mean, it's like, one way to look at this, you have, at the top you have what I call the bankers, yeah? In the middle you have the ordinary sheeple. At the very bottom there are a small number of people which from the day they're born, basically, they're getting abused in the most horrific way. And in a way, you can argue that the purpose of us, the victims, is actually to show to the sheeple, to the ordinary sheeple in the middle, what may easily happen to them if they step out of line, if they don't play along, if they don't, they don't do what they have been told to do. So yeah, you have the banker at the top, the ordinary sheeple in the middle, and the victim at the bottom. And the purpose of the victim being there is just to show to the ordinary sheeple what may easily happen to them if they don't play along with all the corruption in the games and Yeah, that's another way to look at it, actually. Yeah.
Not on, is it?
But, you know, we've been having a meeting, quite well attended, and then we start. Actually, we had every Wednesday during Prime Minister Question Time, we have a protest every Wednesday for up to 18 months. And then people get a bit tired or burned out, so now I'm just coming on my own. But yeah, but actually there was away 5, 6 people every Wednesday. You know, one of us, he was talking to his MP, it's a maverick Tory MP called Peter Bone. He asked him if he asked Peter Bone if he knew about us outside of Parliament every Wednesday. And Peter Bone said, "Yeah, I know. By now, every most MP know by us, because we've been giving leaflets to a number of them. We've been talking to a number of them, so they know about us. That doesn't mean they endorse our claim or that they prefer to lift a single finger to help us, but at least they know what we are saying, what we are complaining about." But you know, it's no magic bullet. Like there's many other horrific things going on. People know they're going on. They're even more obvious of what is happening to us. They're not going to stop. Like what is being done to us. Oh, just Oliver Letwin just went by. They're not going to stop.
They try making it like you're crazy. Just let go of it.
Yeah. A lot of our members of our yeah, I mean, you know, but if you think like modern psychiatry has been around for some 100 years, say, like the MK Ultra program has been around for some 80, maybe like 70 years. I think there is modern psychiatry, MK Ultra, all these intelligence community programs. There's a lot of overlapping and interconnection. I mean, you know, yeah. So I mean,
what is MK Ultra program?
It was a CIA program starting in the mid-50s, whereby they were, you know, experimenting on people. You know, the folklore is about this guy, this Scottish-born psychiatrist called Ewan Cameron, which he was operating at the McGill Memorial Hospital in Montreal. He was getting money from the CIA. He was doing horrific things to people being admitted to hospital with mild depression. It was once they were there, they were giving 10, 50, 20 electroconvulsive therapy shock every day, giving 20, 30 times the recommended dose the recommended psychotropic drugs. But you know, the idea today they were developing following a number of programs and projects. The idea in this specific occasion was to completely wipe out to treat this patient mind as like something with a slab which needs to be completely wiped clean, like, and then they rebuilt it in a healthy way, according to the idea. So first they were doing this stuff to people, and then people were completely distraught, laying on the floor in a fetal position. They were giving them positive messages. Obviously, most of these people went on to commit suicide. Most of the people went on to never be able to work again. So yeah, that's what. But you know, the interesting thing, people know about Ewan Cameron and the McGill Memorial Hospital in Montreal. It's interesting that they use the Canadian location, because they would this kind of you know, the CIA want to put some distance between this kind of activities themselves. But in the end, we end up finding out that actually up to 80 or 90 university hospitals were involved in this program. When it was found out by after the Watergate, people get a bit edgy about the activities of the CIA, so an investigation was started, which was called the Church Committee, not because they had anything with the church, but because it was chaired by Senator Frank Church, the Church Committee. And they start digging around CIA, assassinating foreign leader, blah, blah, blah. And they by accident stumble on this CIA MK Ultra program. And so as soon as they stumble into the program, then acting director of the CIA, a guy called Richard Byrne, ordered all the documents of MK Ultra to be completely destroyed. But they forgot to destroy the account of the operation. So at the end of the day, they managed to get all of the account, and by then the stuff they were buying and things, they managed to get some picture of what was going on. And then a lot of people start coming forward and say, it happened to me, and say, we're testifying in front of the Senate and stuff. So yeah, they tend to say like, well, we're going to stop this thing. I believe the thing has been growing and growing and growing and growing all the time. It went completely underground, went completely dark operation, and I think it's been growing and growing and growing all the time. MK Ultra, I mean, the name doesn't matter. I mean, they can call, they can call MK Ultra, they can call something else. I think it's been growing and developing and growing and getting a lot of black funds, black money from the CIA, from the Pentagon, from dealing drugs, Afghanistan drugs, But before they were dealing on CIA was funding their black operation by, the importing drugs from Vietnam in the past, and that they're doing now from importing drugs from Afghanistan. So financing their black operation. It's all a seething cesspool of corruption. I mean, everywhere you go, if you go around, everything seems kind of normal, people seem to enjoy a bit of freedom, they have a bit of money in their pocket, but if you start digging a bit under the surface, like look what happened at Grenfell, with Grenfell. I mean, it's a seething cesspool of total corruption. That's what I believe it is. But, if we get our lives completely destroyed, I'm not here because I don't have anything better to do. I'm here because they start, I had the misfortune that they started me when I was quite early in life. And so by my early 20s, I was getting full-blown targeting, gang stalking, organized stalking, electronic harassment, which is something else altogether, which is a bit more complicated. But all my life I had this thing, but I've never been able to have a normal life. I had to struggle for everything, in life. So I'm here because it's going on. It's going on. It's going on. It's not that it's something which happened in the past. It's something which is happening very much in the present. At the moment, I have drug dealers in my block of flats harassing me. I believe they actually been put there to harass me like a job. There is a guy on the floor below me actually. I believe he was in prison. They get it out of prison. They make a deal with him. If you you have to serve only 5 years. If you go to 2 or 3 years to harass this person in a flat, then you get free. They do this stuff all the time. You have rampant drug dealing in the building. They just, I don't care if they can deal as much drug as they want, but often it's people that are dealing drugs and harass people. Like they do deal with them. They say like, okay, if you go there and harass this person, then you can allow to drink deal drug as much as you like. We're not going to touch you. So I don't care if they want to drink drug. It's nothing to do with me. They're welcome to drink drug. But the problem is that a lot of these people, when it comes to targeting individuals, people they move into flat below you. They move into flat on top of you. They actually see not just ordinary drug dealers. There are people like. They make deals with them, like, you harass this person constantly, and then you can deal as many drugs as you like, and we're not going to touch you, we're going to protect you. So that's the situation. So I see stuff going on now, not something which happened years ago.
Where are you from?
I'm from Italy, but I've been in London for 30 years, but, for 20 years, 30 years, for 20 years I was working, paying taxes, I was minding my own business, I wasn't doing any activism. Every day, still, they were after me all the time, try to cause problems, try to create mayhem in my life, every single day, for 20 years I was not doing any activism, I wasn't bothering anyone, working, paying taxes, and every day, they were coming up with something new to destroy my life. Now they say, oh, we're after you because of your activism. Yeah, I've been in London for 20 years, I wasn't doing any activism, I wasn't bothering anyone, working, paying taxes. Every day they were coming up with some new stuff to completely destroy my life. So now it's very, because they would like me to stop my activism, because it will be easier then for them to carry on destroying my life. You see, that's the way it was. And not because they're particularly bothered about my activism, but if a way to stop my activism my activity will no longer get in the way of them carry on destroying my life. Unfortunately, that's the truth. That's the way it works, yes. They're using me as a guinea pig for a kind of experiment. But they operate, they operate like, they operate to trauma. They try to control people to trauma. Actually, what they're trying to do, every day of my life, they try to cause me more trauma, like, some friend betraying you, or some stuff happening, or, some really nasty stuff every day. So they try to traumatize you, and, they're experimenting with trauma. And now one may ask, why are they experimenting with trauma? Why? We can see with 9/11. 9/11, I think it was a false flag operation. It was used to traumatize the entire nation and to get them along. So you see, experimenting with trauma is something which they do in a small scale, in a big scale. It's one of their weapons to use trauma to control people, to disable people, to do all kinds of things to people. Look at 9/11. 9/11 was a collective trauma created to hijack a nation, to make them, all the American people accept all kind of fascist legislation, to increase the Pentagon budget, which at the time it was already $300 billion, which was more than, even at the time of 9/11, the Pentagon budget was $300 billion, which was 10 more than all the next 10 countries combined. Then now it's like nominally it's like 700-800 billion, but most people believe that actually there is a lot of black money going in and out. They say probably we're talking really trillion, but officially now but it's interesting with people like the PNAC people. A couple of years before 9/11, this neocon, which founded this group called the PNAC, Project for a New American Century, meaning like the 21st century needs to be again an American century no matter what, at any cost. So we need to prevent at any cost any other country replacing the US in its hegemonic role in the world. Project for a New American Century. They created this manifesto. That was a couple of years before 9/11. And the manifesto was saying like, Chapter 5, failing some major catastrophe or some major catastrophic event like a new Pearl Harbor, we believe it will be very difficult to persuade the American people to rearm. Mind you, they were talking about rearming. At the time they were spending more than the next 10 countries combined. So they were saying this thing in their manifesto, say, failing a catastrophic event like a new Pearl Harbor will be very difficult to persuade the American people to spend more money on defense, basically, yeah? They were saying this thing in 2 years before 9/11. Then after 9/11, what they did, these people, they quietly disbanded, disappeared, because they have the evidence there, the manifesto, it sounds a bit dodgy, failing a new catastrophic event. And so after 9/11, they quietly disappeared. You never heard about them ever again. The PNAC people, and so these people don't have a clue what is going on. I mean, it's unbelievable. If you dig a bit under the surface, it's mind-blowing. We have Simon Stevens, head of NHS England. He was working for a private insurance company before becoming the head of NHS England in the US. I think I can't remember exactly the name of the company. He was a CEO of a huge medical insurance company, and at the time he was opposing Obamacare because he was saying people they have to pay for their medical insurance. Now this guy, look it up, Simon Stevens is the head of NHS England. And before he was working in the US, he was saying the people need to pay for their medical insurance. He believed in the he believed in the complete privatization of the NHS, and now he's the head of NHS England. The Rothschild Bank in London, they have a privatization unit. A privatization unit where they say Rothschild Bank in London, Google it up. They have a privatization unit where they were planning the privatization of what is not yet being privatized, like the NHS, and it's already been privatized by 40% on surgery. But so basically, it is there were a number of Tory politicians which are a member of parliament, which is still they were working in the Rothschild privatisation unit. It's people like exactly. People like the guy who just went on now, which is a guy called Oliver Letwin. Yeah.
Oliver who?
Oliver Letwin. That's a guy who was working for the Rothschild privatisation. Oliver Letwin. He just went through. He was MP. He was working for the Rothschild privatisation unit. Yeah. Oliver Letwin. A guy called Oliver Letwin. A guy called John Redwood, which is another Tory MP. And then another guy who was working with the Rothschild privatisation unit was Jeremy Hunt, which is now the current health secretary, so in charge of the NHS. So, you know, Jeremy Hunt is the health secretary. He's in charge of the NHS amongst other things.
And he was part of the privatisation.
Yeah, he was working with the same job as MP. They still were working with the Rothschild bank. No, it's a seething cesspool of corruption. You know, yeah, a seething cesspool of corruption. Everything you look, but people. But if you don't dig under the surface, we never find out about all this stuff. And you know, so they know. If you have a job, if you're a member of parliament, you say something out of turn. You are getting frozen into backbenches. They don't want to get a job into front benching. You know, either be a member of the government or be a member of the shadow government. If you say something out of turn once, they throws you on the back benches, and then maybe at the next election they found a way of deselecting you, you know. So, I mean, if you have a normal job, a media job, you say something out of turn, they throw you into your job, then after a while they found a way of making you redundant. If you any other job, even in transport, any job, in the underground, you stick against something which is wrong going on, after a while you end up losing your job. So, you know, it's... yeah, you know, say something out of turn, you lose your job, then maybe you become insolvent, you lose your family, you lose your friends, you end up in the street. That's the way it works. So that's why people, anyway, you know, they don't want to know, they look the other way, they say that they have to sing from the same hymn sheet and stuff, you know, there is a reason, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. Yeah.
True, Got to raise awareness, isn't it? Got to raise awareness.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if whistleblowers, usually they mix it with some kind of sticky end or something, so you know.
Mind if I photo your sign? Mind if I photo your sign? Can I photo the sign?
Oh yeah, take a picture. You're most welcome. Absolutely, yeah.
I'll get the sign. I'll even face out.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. You probably get a better light if you go a bit over there and stay over here because it's quite dark otherwise.
Do you want to be in it or just want a picture?
Yeah, do whatever. Take a picture, take a 2 or 3, take a video, whatever you it's fine. And
I went on a wall a while ago.
Get in touch.
Oh, they took over, remote access to your phone, like you said, electronic harassment and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually, I basically wrote something on, I was like commenting on something about this sort of harassment. There's a page for it, like, something like 5 cops out of our life or something. So I've seen it around on a sticker. So I read on it, and I was thinking, this is bullshit. It looked like a police affiliated site, rather than a victim site or whatever. So I commented on it. It was all like silly numbers. You know, they use all these numbers and that. It's like we have found 144 officers and whatnot that known to be in it, and they like named about one of them. There were no females in it or nothing. And I was like, hang on a minute, 144. I was like, I got it on the wall. I've named the case where there's like loads more people involved in one instance. It's like, how can they do that? And then like within minutes, my phone started going like they've remote access to thing, gone into YouTube videos, started playing me fucking like mad songs that are really threatening and that. I was like, hang on a minute.
It has been known to happen to people.
I accept like some of it. I think, you know what, some of it's state security and that's important. But when it becomes to a point when they like actually like causing trauma in your life through like actions of theirs, like it's like,
has been known to
completely do that, and then to manipulate your thoughts to try and make you feel like in a negative light on yourself or things, or low your self-esteem when you actually all trying to do good. It's like
take time with your phone,
I just accept it now. I know everything I say to me, I listen to whatever.
It's a bit difficult. It's a bit of a difficult subject because it's very difficult to explain to people that people get actually gang stalk and stuff. So I mean, I usually, you know, most of the time I don't even mention it to people like electronic harassment. We know our community, we know very well it happens. It happens.
Sometimes individual, even a couple, or like or a group. If it's a bigger group, can target a group, or especially if it's an individual, it's easy. You can have a number of groups target one individual, whatever, trying to manipulate your thoughts, and then like, it depends on who you are. They might try to power one up, or they might try to knock someone down. They use them for their purpose, and they'll scrap you.
Can you use microwave to do unbelievably sophisticated things to people? I mean, they can. It's more like they can. Sometimes they can. But I don't talk to, you know, I don't talk with people because it's very difficult enough to try to, you know, to talk about gang stalking, organized stalking, but it's like...
They don't said it as a gang, do they? They think it's like security, but it's like, what is that? Is this another, very good say, security stalking or something, gang stalking is the same thing. No, it's the manipulation of people, isn't it? Like gang stalking I normally relate to fucking in with a team of people selling drugs, which is slightly different, because obviously they're different ball games. Just like security stalking, isn't it? Try and manipulate like political lobby or something, or lobbyists, you know what I mean? I'll go and influence that person there, who might be able to use it to an end, or use that to an end, or just suppress them, don't let them have their say, whatever, but it's like people that normally associate gangs with gangs. Like, it's just a word for a collective, it's a group of people, isn't it, really? I normally just understand but they say, well, we don't cause no harm. If we cause emotional trauma, there was that thing that came out a few years ago where someone, I've been hurt in this way and that way. It's like, it's a hard one to call, you know what I mean? Because it can never be admitted. So you will become aware of like certain situations where you're like, that's one. I mean, you're still allowed to operate in that, but you're thinking, and you know what, a lot of it's suppressed anyway, but when it's not, when there's an actually saying, oh, we're standing for this, you realise you're walking into a trap. But then you just get honest, be creative. That's the one thing, 'cause if you're going to be dead structured, then they're going to get you. You know what I mean? So if you're like, actually, raising awareness of things is good, using creative action, instead of negative action. What they're looking for is a terrorist target, isn't it? If they can get someone like that by manipulation, then they've got one, so they need to do anyway. They do want it, they want to increase security.
Well, what's happening to us, I think, is...
They've been hindered and haven't they?
What's happening to us, I think, is really what happened to us is really underpin or a lot of stuff happening in society with social control and with the fear people have to stepping out of line. So what's happening to us is it may appear to be a small in terms of numbers. Then we don't know because, as I said, there is hundreds of people coming forward every day now. So I mean, maybe the numbers are not so small actually. But so it seems relatively small in terms of numbers, but actually underpins a lot of stuff happening. All the fear. You know, it's like a matrix. It's like a matrix. Like we are trapped into this kind of bubble or matrix or whatever you want to call it. At one level you have all the false narrative, which is very important because people are never told really what is going on. We are all surrounded by false narrative. Then we end up interiorizing this false narrative. They hold the control. Most of the narrative going on in our head as well. Then you have all the spying, which is becoming every day more intrusive, more sophisticated. Then you have the way of controlling people, tell you what some price to pay to step out of line, blackmail. I think all politicians are being blackmailed. So it's a comprehensive system of corruption and control, and yeah. But anyway, there is my email address. There also should be a telephone number somewhere, I think.
I'll check it out, man.
And yeah, I mean, I was saying
that happens, I'm aware it happens. I'm not sure, people are affected by it, it's a bad thing, isn't it? Like, and it's to take control, it's just the fact of it. I think the whole thing's bad, we're on a lower level, but what they're actually providing in return for that? If we was all fucking...
But it's like in a way,
how many people are
it's like there is a number of people that from birth, and most from birth you may say, they actually getting constantly victimized. I mean, like, you know, and
I'll ring you in a minute. I'll come now.
Yeah, okay.
Cheers, bro.
Please, give me, drop a line or something. There is my email address.
Right,
Okay.
good luck.
Okay, thank you. Campaign for harassment sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for harassment sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for harassment sanctioned by the authorities, destroying